What's up, guys? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we'll be looking at the Mafex Armored Batman from the Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice movie. And here's a quick look at him in the packaging. You're able to see the figure and the extra hands that he comes with, as well as his grappling gun. And then on the side of the box you get a Batman vs Superman logo and a quick look at the figure. And then on the opposite side you see the whole figure and again the Batman vs Superman logo. On the back you get the figure in a couple different poses. And yeah, this packaging is cool. I'm always a fan of the collector-friendly packaging. And I really like the size of the Mafex packaging. It's not very big or anything like that, so it's very cool. And for the articulation, his head is able to go side to side. And it could also tilt a pretty good amount. And there's actually two joints in the neck, so his head can go forward a pretty nice amount. And it could come up about that much, but then the armor piece right here stops it. And then he has two torso joints, one at the mid-torso and one at the waist. The mid-torso joint doesn't get too much movement, but it twists a little bit. And then it could also tilt an okay amount. Could tilt both ways. But the waist joint, you're able to twist a lot more. And then with the two joints, you could get them to tilt a pretty good amount. And then you could also get them to crunch a pretty good amount. So it goes forward about that much using the two joints. Then it comes back about that much. So the two joints working together works pretty good. And for his arm, it's able to come out to the side about that much before it's stopped by the shoulder pad. It can come forward about this much. Shoulder pad's soft plastic, so it doesn't get in the way too much, but it comes back about that much. And then he has upper bicep swivel. He has double jointed elbows. And his hand is able to swivel and hinge. And for his legs, they're able to come down a little bit, and that way you could bring it forward a pretty nice amount. Then it comes to the side a pretty nice amount. Then you have the upper thigh swivel. You have double jointed knees. And his foot is able to swivel side to side. And it could tilt up about that much and tilt down about that much. And it could also rock back and forth. Then he has some toe articulation. So he has a really nice amount of articulation, and the armor doesn't get in the way too much, so that's pretty good. They did a really nice job with the articulation. And his cape has metal wires in it, so you're able to bend it and stuff like that. It looks pretty cool. It has two wires. I kind of wish they had one going down the middle too, but yeah, I really like the way the Mafex does this. They do this with a lot of their figures that have capes, and for the most part it works pretty good. I always feel like if I bend them or pose them too much that they'll break, but I think if you're careful with it, they'll be alright. I do wish they used like a thicker metal inside there though. And for his accessories, he comes with a set of fists and a set of open hands and a set of gripping hands. And his gripping hands can be used to hold his grappling gun. And like most Mafex figures, he comes with this pretty cool looking stand. But it is a little weak, so Batman's kind of heavy. It does kind of topple a little bit. But yeah, these stands are really cool. I like these. And it comes in three pieces. Comes apart here and comes apart here. And even though they do kind of get loose, they're just held together by little screws. So you get a little screwdriver there and tighten it up, and you know, then it works pretty good. For some size comparisons, here he is next to DC Icon Superman and DC Icon's Flash. And here he is next to Figure Arts Ant-Man and Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man. And I think he scales pretty good for a 6-inch figure. And here he is next to the Mezco Armored Batman figure. And I think these two figures are going to get compared to each other a lot. I think a lot of people are going to be torn between these two. In my opinion, the Mezco one's better. You know, it has the cool light up eyes. I like the cape better. It just seems like a better quality figure. But, you know, Mezco stuff feels like, you know, it feels like art to me almost. So, yeah, I think that one's better. But the Mafex one is a suitable replacement if for some reason you can't get the Mezco one. I know at this point I think they might be sold out or you know, pretty expensive on eBay. And if you can only get your hand on the Mafex one, that's not horrible, because the Mafex one is really cool, and it's actually kind of funner to play with because the articulation works a little bit better, And yeah, he's just a really cool figure. He doesn't have as many accessories or anything like that, and he doesn't have the light up eyes. And you know, doesn't have everything that the Mezco one has, but he's a really cool figure. And yeah, I'm really happy to have both of these actually. But yeah, if I had to choose, I think I'd go with the Mezco one. But you know, all things considered, you know, like the Mafex one is it's like $40 or something, or $50. So you know, like I said, if you can't get the Mezco one for whatever reason, the Mafex one is a cool one to have in your collection. And here's a side-by-side comparison of the sculpts of the two figures. And the sculpt on both of them is really good. You could see on both of them there's a bunch of battle damage and things like that all over the helmet. So I really like that. It looks like there's a little bit more on the Mafex one. And on the chest here, the Mezco sculpt is a little bit better because it doesn't have to worry about incorporating the articulation or anything like that. And you can see it's really similar as far as the damage goes all over. So that's pretty cool. And the arms and legs on the Mezco figure are a lot thicker, so the Mafex one does fit in better with 6-inch scale figures, so that's pretty cool. And just in case anyone's curious, the Mafex one is able to hold on to the Mezco spear, but the Mezco spear is a little heavy and his arm kind of does flop around when he's holding it, but he's able to grip it for sure. And here's a closer look at the Mafex one by himself. As I said before, his head has a bunch of battle damage, so I really like that. Yeah, it looks very, very cool. And the whole thing is sculpted really good. There's a bunch of battle damage throughout the whole figure, so I really like that. You can see here on the shoulder pads it's all scratched up and stuff. And this belt thing is loose, and it's kind of weird. It goes through the cape instead of under it, as you can see here. I think that's kind of a weird choice, but it's no big deal. I probably wouldn't want to remove it anyways. And it's kind of cool. You can see like the Batman suit under all the armor. And yeah, they did a really good job. There's a bunch of detail throughout the whole figure. Yeah, Mafex does pretty good. But it does seem like there's a lot of quality control issues with them. Luckily, my armored Batman had no problems. But when I got the regular version of the Batman, the peg on the hand snapped right off. That kind of sucks. And the cape here is pretty cool, but it looks like jeans kind of. I wish they kind of went with the darker color. And I don't like how light it is on the inside either, so... But it looks okay, and I definitely like the wires, so that's cool. So overall, I think that it's a really, really good figure. I kind of don't think that it's as good as the Mezco one, but, you know, it's half the price, and it's definitely a really good alternative. I really like the articulation, and he does fit in good with other 6-inch scale figures. So, yeah, it's a very good figure. I definitely recommend picking it up. Even if you do have the Mezco one, this one's cool to have, because this one is a little bit easier to pose and play with and stuff like that. When it comes to Mafex, I'm always worried that things are going to break because I always hear horror stories and stuff like that. For the most part, I've been lucky with this armored Batman. I got lucky, so I am happy about that. And I do like the wires in the cape, but like I said before, I wish that the wires were thicker so they didn't feel like they were going to snap eventually. But yeah, overall, it's a really, really good figure. I'm very happy to have him. I really can't wait until some of the Suicide Squad figures come out, because I'm really looking forward to getting Deadshot. I think that one looks really cool. I think Mafex has a lot of cool stuff going on, so... yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to check out CoolToyReview.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. Also, if you liked the video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that cool stuff. And that's it. Thank you very much. Peace.